Hi traders, how are you all doing? So this is going to be a trade breakdown of the trade that I took yesterday on NASDAQ, right? You're going to learn a lot from this, all right? So this is actually the trade here. You can see the position was here and I was targeting this level here. So yeah, so let's do a breakdown. So getting into NASDAQ yesterday, I wasn't actually bearish yesterday, but one thing for sure is that I don't get married to my buyers, right? I don't get married to my buyers. So getting into Monday, I could see a reaction of this order block. That's quite for sure. Could see a reaction of this weekly order block. Remember, I always have to start with high time frame, right? So I went down to 4 hour and I started seeing a reaction from here. I started seeing this reaction, and remember what I told you guys, inversion fair value gap is so important to me. That tells me a lot in the market. But looking at NASDAQ, right? Looking at NASDAQ, we have this bearish move here and bullish move here. So everything is just 50-50 to me. So then I applied something else, whereby a section, I call it section bias, whereby if you're bullish and price do some certain thing, you can actually sell, but you have to wait. All right, so that's what I applied yesterday. So yesterday, I expected price to continue going up from here. If it wants to continue going up, I took some buys from there, quite all right. I took some nice buys from there, which I called out. I called it out in this my blue trading room. I called it out here. You can see this was the buys. This was the buys. I called it out here, and this was the buys. I called it out here. You can see this was the fair value gap. All right. So where was I? So okay. So I had this buy from here because if price wants to continue going higher, I like it to respect that fair value gap, at least respect it and start going high. So price shoot up higher. I was targeting this highs here. I will show you my entry and everything. I will drop down lower time frame. So I was targeting this high. Unfortunately, price didn't get there. So I took some profit, and the last one hits break even. So let's go to that trade first, then I will show you this other one. All right. So as you can see here, this was my entry was on 3 minutes time frame. Okay, because it's during New York section, so it was 3 minutes time frame. So this was my entry from here. This was my entry from here. And before here, I actually took some buys from here. I actually had some buys that hit their target. Then I wanted the second one, which was going to be my main trade. So if you look here, you will see that we have that order block. We have this order block, and we have the inversion again. I can't even tell you how powerful inversion fair value gap is, but you need to make sure that your inversion fair value gap is positioning at the right side. It's lining up with that order block. If it doesn't line up with that order block, it becomes a low probability. What do I mean by that? Let's assume that there was no inversion fair value gap here, right? And the fair value gap, it's just here. That's not the inversion fair value gap that we're looking for. We want it to align with this order block here. Then you get the high probability one. So we had this move. I had this move, and I was targeting this high. Unfortunately, price didn't get that. So as soon as price started giving me this reaction here, actually I closed my first position here, and I started getting some reaction here. I closed more. Then I still hold my main stop loss. Then price came and took out the last one. I'd be like, okay, fine. I'm gonna wait to see what price really wants to do. Then I went back on 4 hour. You're gonna learn a lot from here now. So on 4 hour dropped. It dropped, and guess what it did? And closed below here. Closing below here, this candle, you can't trade because this is not a manipulation candle. This is a displacement. All right, this is a displacement. Even though there's no structure here that it broke, but you have to respect what this candle is telling you. I expected this candle, this 6 a.m. candle, to do what this one did, But since this one didn't do it and it was this one, cool, fine. We can trade this next candle. All right, we can trade this next candle, and we expect this next candle to be bearish candle. If it wants to continue going higher, cool. But this candle is what told me what this one is likely going to do. What did it do? It disrespected this fair value gap. That is 1, right? And it closed bearish. That is 2. Then what do I have to do now? I want to look for a point of interest. A point of interest that would tell me, okay, this is where I want to sell from. So first, I drop down to 15 minutes. So during this time, 15 minutes has already done its job. There was some sells from here. I was already done its job. Did it sell? Then I went down to 1 hour to see. So I see that we have this massive fair value gap here. There's this massive fair value gap here. It was during PM section, right? There's this massive fair value gap here. So there was this massive fair value gap here. So I went on 5 minutes during PM section. I went on 5 minutes to find my entry. So as you can see here, 5 minutes, we went back up here. Price went back up and gave us a nice entry. We even had like 2 inversion fair value gap here. Price closed below the 2. As soon as I saw this closure, I took my entry. I didn't have to wait for a pullback. No, I didn't have to wait for a pullback. I just took my entry off here, and my stop loss was up here, and my target was down here. All right. So this was the entry of yesterday. And when I tell you guys that things repeats, right? It repeats all the time. It repeats. So because we've had this entry, this same particular entry on, I think it was on Friday. I called it out with my group. It was on Friday. It was the same thing. The same thing. There was no different. It happened. And this happened again. And this was the sell of yesterday. I hope you guys learned from this, right? I'll be doing more of this breakdown. But some traders, they find breakdown like very, very boring. But trust me, you will learn a lot from breakdown. When someone tell you how they take trade, especially trades that repeats, you should take notes. Take notes and learn from it. All right, guys. I hope. Yeah, I think I've said that. All right, do enjoy the rest of the day, and please do like, share, and subscribe if you've not yet. And if you want to learn more on this, right, I'll be doing more of this kind of teaching of how I take trades like this in my membership, my YouTube membership. All right, so you can join there and learn how I trade. All right, so enjoy the rest of the day. Bye for now.